Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back. So we've made a little bit of progress in Palworld. This is my little pal box right here. We've added some new pals. A few of them I found in the dungeon that's right next to us. I went in there and I cleared it. And I actually discovered something interesting in that dungeon. So when you get towards where the boss is and you approach the boss, you could see which kind of pal is going to be the boss that you're going to fight. And then just by accident, I realized if I leave the room and I go into like one room prior and then I come back, it gives me a different boss for me to potentially fight. So I kept doing it. And I discovered that, yeah, I mean, maybe it's different for in different dungeons. I'm not sure. But this specific one, when you walk into it, I was able to do that until I got the Tombat, this specific Tombat right here. And this is a cool pal to have early on because it has two level 2 seeding, level 2 mining, level 2 in terms of gathering. So it's a really cool pet or not pet pal to have, and he works through the night as well. His passives aren't that crazy, but I was able to breed, and I got this other one. So that one was a male, this one was a female, and I had this male Ecthirdir. Wow, that's such a difficult name to pronounce. And so I was looking through the guide as far as breeding because I made it to the point where we're able to breed pals now, and I wanted to kind of see which pals I can get using the current pals that I have. So the ones I was able to get using the Ecthirdir. Wow, I'm just calling them Deary. That's what I'm gonna call them from now on. So using Deary and Tombat, I was able to breed them and get this Kitsune. And so I used the berries and just until I got a decent one that I like. This one has Diet Lover, Dragon Killer, Abnormal, and Serious. So as far as its passives go, hunger decreases, neutral damage is decreased, work speed, nothing too crazy. So also, as you can see, I got Dazzy, and I was able to combine this specific Dazzy with this Tombat, or not combine, but breed. And it produced a few different Fangalopes, and a couple of Fangalopes had pretty solid passives. Like one of them had Nimble, the other one had Infinite Stamina. And then I was able to kind of breed those two together, and I got lucky, and I got one with Nimble, which is 10% increased movement speed, 50% increased stamina, and then we have the active skill cooldown reduction, and a Blood of the Dragon, which is useless. Serenity's cool. I guess if you're using him as a mount and using his abilities if you want to attack, that definitely helps. You get more attacks, and it's got increased attack percentage. But the main ones are infinite stamina and 10% increased movement speed. Now, I know there's better passes than Nimble, but you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. However, problem is, I can't use this Fangalope yet. But it's cool to have. I have them for later. As you can see over here, we've already got a Nightwing. And this Nightwing has Runner, which is a 20% increased movement speed. So this was great. I actually found 3 Nightwings flying around. I caught a couple of them. And then the third one, finally, had the Runner passive skill. So that's fantastic to have early on with a Nightwing, especially with the reduced stamina. It definitely helps with making him a little further, a little faster. Travel early on becomes much more enjoyable. So the next pal that I do want to try to breed is Anubis. Now, in order to get Anubis, I need to get a Rayhound and combine it or breed it with my Nightwing. And I can either go find a Rayhound out and about in the world, or I can just go find me a Dire Howl and breed it with the Nightwing. So my current Nightwing is a female with Runner. Not that I want Runner on Anubis, but I think Anubis can be used to breed other cool pals, so it wouldn't hurt to have it. But this one is a female, and then I have, I guess, this male. I got a couple to choose from. So this one's a Masochist. Not really crazy about the Masochist passive. This one decreases incoming ice damage. I guess that's cool. And then Suntan Laver decreases incoming fire damage. Anubis is already earth type, so he takes less fire damage regardless. So I guess what I'll do is I'm going to go try to catch me at least a male and a female, and hopefully we'll get a Dire Howl with decent stats. And then we'll come, breed it with the Nightwing, And then we'll just combine the Dire Howl with Nightwing again and get ourselves a Anubis. Anubis is a great combat pal, and he's also a great base pal because he has a decent amount, I think level 4 stats. It's getting late. I'm gonna go take a quick nap, and then in the morning I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna go grab me a Dire Howl and then come back and we'll breed them and see if we can get a decent Anubis. Oh man, look at this mess. Oh, come on. I think, who is it? Tombat? Tombat should be collecting that, but he's over there mining. Like, okay, I guess I have to do this myself. All right, so we've made a decent amount of progress. As you can see, we're level 21, and we've progressed in the technology tree a decent amount. We've got some stuff that I still need to craft, like the weapon workbench, the PAL laboratory, and I do need to craft... do I have the cooking pot yet? I don't think I do. There's some more, you know, armor that I can craft. I don't think I've crafted the mill or the PAL expedition station yet. But we'll get there. We've got some work to do, and so right now, like I said, we got to go out there, get that Dire Howl, get some breeding done, and see what kind of Anubis we can get ourselves. We also made some progress in this little small settlement. I talked to this guy right here. He gave me the quest to fill up my Palpedia, I guess. Which is basically like, I think in Pokemon you had like Professor Oak asking you to fill up your Pokedex. And then there was a farmer up there who asked for a water pal. I gave her a Pangolin. That took care of that. Got some food from her as a result. I did forget to grab this Liftmonk effigy over here though, so let's grab that. Got it. And there's a dungeon over here. I'm not going to do that just yet. We'll do the dungeons later on. And then there was this guy who wants you to take out some bosses. And there was the guy up here who basically, he wants you to go and get certain pals. The first one, I think, is a Liftmonk. So you can grab a Liftmonk, come here, have him by your side, talk to him, and he kind of progresses. Now, obviously, what I could do, if I want to not waste time, so I can go to the Palpedia and then just scroll down until we find a Dire Howl, which I haven't caught yet. If I click on Habitat, it shows me... roughly, I don't like this map. This map is a little weird, the controls of it. So it's like you gotta press X to zoom in. So yeah, it looks like I gotta fly to the west a little bit, and it's like inverted controls, which is weird. And so we'll find some to the west. So let's fly over there, find ourselves a Dire Howl, and head back to the base. Okay, so we got a couple Dire Howls over here. They're lower level, so I don't want to use my pals because they might just one-shot them. Let's go ahead and make this one angry. Whoops. I'm not doing a lot of damage in my... Oh, easy there, buddy. Easy. Uh-oh, I missed. Haha. What? No, you don't. Okay, 41%. It's not good. But we get lucky sometimes. All right, we got one. Ooh, Artisan and Ferocious. Okay, those are decent. So grab the female while we're at it, just in case. Sounds like it might be fighting somebody. Nope. There she is. Easy there, puppy. Oh! Aha! Uh-oh. Hey, 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 Alpaca. Okay, he's interested in something else. Okay, 58%. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Stay in the ball. Very good. Okay, not the best passive, but not the worst. Okay, we got ourselves a Dire Howl, so let's head back and do some breeding, huh? Okay, so Artisan and Ferocious. Artisan will be fantastic if I can get that on a Anubis, because he's already fast, so increasing his work speed by 50% is fantastic. And also, if I can get another one with Ferocious, increases his attack power. So this is a great one to start with. Now, the only question is, yes, this one's a female. So I already know which ones I'm going to be mixing together. All right, let's grab these two. Where'd they go? Come here. So what you want to look out for, because these pals like to stock this thing up with berries, you definitely don't want 130 berries in here, because if you don't realize there's 130 berries in here, and you drop your pals in to breed if you're using this specific mod, you're going to get a ton of eggs. So I like to remove it and put maybe like 5 in there. Look, they just dropped off some more. Come on, guys. Okay, let's drop this 5 in here. I don't see anybody else coming. Who else? Where was my Nightwing? Where'd you go, dude? What are you doing over there? What are you eating? Come here. All right, so throw them in there, and you'll see a bunch of eggs start popping up. It's very quick. It's great for this kind of gameplay. Maybe you like it as well yourself. I'm going to go ahead and remove one of them so that, look, they're bringing berries. I got to hurry up because they'll make more eggs. Go ahead and remove the Nightwing. This one has runner, so I'm probably going to, depending on the Rayhound that they create or that comes out of the eggs, we'll see what we end up reading. I probably should have left the Nightwing in there, but that's okay. Let's grab these eggs and let's go to the egg incubator and see what we get out of these. Okay, so I lucked out. I got one male and one female that have Artisan, Ferocious, and Runner. These two have Artisan, Ferocious, and Hooligan. I guess Hooligan's not terrible. For now, I think these are the better ones. So that one's a we got a female Nightwing, and we need a male Rayhound. Let's drop both of these in here. Come here, buddy. There we go. Throw the Rayhound in there. Let's see how many. Man, they're restocking already. Okay, I'm good with like 4, and they'll probably bring a couple before I get my Nightwing in here, because these are just some busy bees. Got this little guy over here, this little herbal. I think I hatched him, so he's helpful when it comes to planting or seeding, because I think he's level 2. Let's go ahead and drop this Nightwing in here. Wait for, oh, look at those. Yes. So excited about this Anubis. All right, let's go ahead and pull out the Nightwing and the Rayhound. I think 4 is good. I think our odds are going to be with 4. If not, I'll just throw them back in there and see what we get. All right, our 4 Anubis are ready. So let's check out their passives. This one has Ferocious, Artisan, and Runner. So we got all 3 of the good stuff. So, and he's also like a boss Anubis, so he's going to be bigger. This one also has them, so we got 2 females, but this one's not a boss. So this one will probably go inside the base, and this one will join us on the team. So let's go ahead and put this guy there. This Anubis, no, so we got Artisan and Runner here. Artisan, work speed. This is so fantastic. So great success. We're level, what are we, 22, and we already have ourselves a Fangalope and Anubis. We have a great Nightwing to use. I'll probably stick with that Nightwing for a little while unless I can find me a better. Usually I go from like Nightwing to Vanworm, but I think at this point the next one I'll probably go to is probably gonna be the Beacon. So Beacon is a great mount to have. It's fast, it's got good stamina, so if I can get some good passives on Beacon should take us most likely all the way to either Frostallion or even, you know, maybe until we get Jetragon. We've got 1 skill point. Let's go ahead and put that. I'm not going to put that into work speed anymore because we've got 2 Anubis that have 50% increased work speed. And so let's go ahead and drop that into not attack. I'm going to go more health. I want to stay alive a little bit longer, especially with the way that I play. And let's go down here. We've got some technology points to spend. I'm going to use the high quality bait, even though we don't have any tomatoes. I do have wheat, but I don't have the mill yet, and so that's going to be the next thing, just doing some crafting around the base, which is probably what we'll get into right now. Let's go ahead and grab that. I haven't really used the flea market for pals or items. I think this is more if you're playing on a multiplayer server, so you can sell your stuff to other people. So I'm just going to leave that alone. If I'm wrong about that, let me know, but I'm pretty sure that's fairly accurate. Let's take a look and see what we can craft. I've got a couple ancient technology points. Is there anything I want or need right now? We have the small feed bag. I'm going to put a point into that because I have to craft that at some point anyways. Let's see. We've got wheat growing. We've got these guys working. Between the 2 Anubis, we're going to have so much stone. It's crazy. I got to move up and try to get me the ore mining station for the base, and to do that I gotta defeat the first boss. So, but for now, let me see. I grabbed a couple Lift Monk effigies. Yes, we can go ahead and increase this as well. That's really good. That's going to help. I ended up also fighting and defeating the Pen King at his dungeon, and I like to put him here on the ice box. And let's go ahead and drop these off over here. Oh, I got a couple eggs. All right, let's go see what's in there. Hey, we got another chillet. That's not terrible. Oh, another herbal. And this one's a diet lover. All right, cool. We'll take it. I'm going to go ahead and craft the mill. Let's put this down over here. Oh, man, this placement is terrible. But I'm going to move from here pretty soon. Now that we have a quick flying mount. There's a base location way up here that it's like a giant circle and it's kind of elevated. It's also supposed to be, from what I understand, like a base that doesn't get raided. And I've used it in the past because it's got a decent amount of space and it's circular and it's pretty flat. And it's next to, some decent islands. Okay, so we crafted the Pal Expedition Station. We crafted the Sphere Workbench. So that should let us upgrade our base one more time. Build a cooking pot. That'll get us to the next level. I'm going to demolish this because in order to use this, if you come over here, you have to do the tower bosses. And then you can send your pals on these little expeditions, like little missions. And they come back with these resources that you have over there. Now, the Ancient Pal manuscript is useful. Obviously, Bellinor's slab, that's a boss fragment. You use that, and you can, summon a Bellinor as a Bellinor or Bellinor, I don't know, whatever. And so all of these, once you defeat the towers, you can do the expedition in order to ultimately get these items. It's a great thing to do later. I'm just not doing it right now, and it takes up so much space. I have found a trick where, like, on these little, like a little house like this, you could throw it on top of there, which is pretty funny. But don't need it. I'd just rather have my resources back. Ah, I need more flame organs. Shoot. All right. Well, we need more flame organs in order to craft the cooking pot. Let's throw Chillet back in here. And let's see, who else can I throw down here? I guess I could throw in another Anubis. Couldn't hurt, right? Yes. Look at these guys. They're just taking the berries over there. Probably have so many berries in there now. Got to make sure to pull that out. And we got this deerie over here hanging out in his little hot spring. Oh, it looks so chill. But yeah, well, I think, it's getting kind of late. I'm going to go look for a couple fox sparks real quick and then see if I can get me some flame organs, come back, craft a cooking pot, and I think we're going to call it there. We'll pick things up a little bit later. I think the way I'm going to do this series is just kind of progress a little bit. I'll shoot the content while I'm playing, just in case anything interesting happens. But, I mean, obviously a lot of this game is, initially, especially early game, is just grinding, exploring, just kind of looking for the specific pals that you need to progress and just leveling up, getting stronger, and just building. So I think where we'll probably pick up in the next episode is might be already at the new base. I think that would be a good spot to pick things up. But like I said, I'll record the content and then we'll do maybe like a quick little little montage in the beginning of the things that happened while in between episodes. So let's go ahead and find ourselves at least one or two fox sparks and then build the cooking pot and then call it a day. Ooh, I hear a shiny. Of course it's a Chickapee. I don't think I've even caught one of these guys yet. What level is he? Level 6? Oh, he's angry. That's an angry chicken. Uh-oh. No, you don't, Chickapee. Let's see if we can get him. Looks like it. All right. Ooh. We've got ourselves a Chickapee. And if you look, he's going to be in our party. So let's check out his stats. Lucky is great. Work speed, attack. That's a good one to have. And so you usually get that with the shinies. And he's got Philanthropist. When assigned to a breeding farm, breeding speed is increased by 100%. Doesn't really matter at this point because of the add-on. So cool. Our first shiny. So if you noticed, I'm on Nightwing, and with Runner, she's moving like so fast compared to what she normally does. And stamina still goes down. I think this is more reasonable as far as like a stamina for a flying pal. The default stamina is just bad. Like I would have to like drop every like 5 seconds. Go ahead and pull her back, and I could just end these guys, but I'm gonna catch them. There you go, buddy. Whoa, easy there, Turbo. Oh, what? Feisty. Okay, got a couple, and we should have a few flame organs. What did we get out of that? We got 6. All right, that's not bad. I'm just gonna fly over here real quick and check on these syndicate thugs and see what kind of pal they have. This one, not the best, but I might as well just free the poor little guy. Handle it, Nightwing. Toko Toko. Very cool. I know you could use them for like breeding certain pals, but obviously you could use all pals for breeding certain pals. But I think he's from what I remember, at least kind of glancing at the guide, there are a few good ones I think that he might be useful for. But anyways, we'll worry about that later. Let's head back to camp and build a cooking pot. Man, it's so fast with these guys. God, I love Anubis. All right, we got the cooking pot. We should be able to upgrade the base one more time. One thing I realized, I need to craft some beds. So we got to build a weapon workbench and build a PAL labor research laboratory. That's another one that I hadn't really like messed with. You do need certain things to move along. It's definitely, I think, useful for endgame. Early on, doesn't really do too much, but for endgame, it's good. So let's go ahead and craft one more bed. There we go. And I could drop another pal in here, which is most likely going to be the Fox Sparks. Why is this guy dead? That doesn't make sense. Maybe my Nightwing hit him as I freed him. That's crazy. Serenity, insulated body, shabby, abnormal. I think Serenity is okay. Active cooldown. Drop him down here. He's not going to do much right now, but whenever I go mine up some ore, just drop it in the furnace and he'll just sit here and do it. He's only level 1, so he's not that fast. But eventually we'll get some better pals to throw on there. But I'm just going to put him here for now. He's going to walk around looking all cute. And let's see what kind of, like how much stone he's, look at that, 1,300. Just going. Cool. Well, I'm going to drop these off into storage. And I think, you know, as it's getting dark already, it's about to be nighttime. We're going to end things there. And like I said, next episode, we'll pick things up at the new base. And maybe we'll have a little bit more advanced material than this wood. I know I could do stone right now, but I don't know if I want to build in stone just yet. Considering all the stone I just gathered, maybe. It just doesn't look as pretty to me. I like at level 50, you unlock the Japanese style. All that requires is, I think, wood. That one is a really cool one for, you know, that I like to usually build. I'm a big fan of the Japanese culture. And so for me, that's my go-to, typically around that level, as far as crafting and the way the base looks. I gotta get creative. This is not what it's gonna look like ultimately. I like building a base where I can kind of put a lot of these workstations inside of the base and just have different levels. I have a level where it's kind of like the sleeping quarters. I have a level for production, level for harvesting. I did increase the number of pals to 20 for each base. I'll see how that feels, and you know, we'll go from there if I ever want to go back into settings and increase that number. But for now, I think 20 is good. And if I need to craft another base, sometimes I'll have a second base just for breeding. That way I don't have to worry about disrupting production as I'm swapping pals in and out to drop into the breeding base. And it also will help me control how much berries go into the farm. Typically, you don't need to worry about feeding them. If it's just for breeding, I'm going to put them in, take them out. So I don't even need to build anything else other than just a breeding farm. And I could do other things like mining and whatnot, but then I got to feed those guys. So for now, I think I set it to 4 bases max. Don't think I'm going to need anything any more than that. You'll definitely need a base at some point for getting oil, because oil isn't something that I think currently you can just place a, kind of like a mining or harvesting station in your base. It's one where you got to get like the little oil pump and throw it on the little oil spots that are found on the ground. cross that bridge when we get there. That's going to be a little while. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on this game. Let me know what you think about the mods that I'm using. I did also reduce the time for incubating the eggs, just because even at the 1 hour, some of these eggs would have taken too long. And honestly, I don't feel like, as far as like creating content goes, sitting here waiting for these eggs to hatch, especially when I'm trying to progress. Now, without it, I probably wouldn't have Anubis at level 21, 22, because I'd be out there grinding and doing my thing and exploring, and I'd be at a higher level by the time I was able to hatch him. Now, it's still possible at a early level, because the pals needed to get to him. If you go back to it, we had to create the Rayhound, and we used the Direhowl and the Nightwing, and then we combined the Rayhound with the Nightwing. Now, I think Rayhound is a fairly low level pal you could find as well, but Direhowl, Nightwing, you can find them by level like 10 to 13. I think Nightwing you can find level 9, level 10 Nightwing, and then same thing with Direhowl. So you can grab those two early on, and you get the PAL breeding station at level 20 anyways. So by level 20, if you really wanted to take the time and breed, it's just you might not get as lucky as I did with the stats, or you might get luckier. But yeah, you could definitely have Anubis. You don't have to wait till I think like level 45 or so, where you're able to kind of capture him or get lucky enough to get other pals that you can breed. But if you want a quick way to get Anubis, that's where it's at. Direhowl plus Nightwing, and then Nightwing plus Rayhound, and you got yourself an Anubis. And if you get lucky, you get Artisan on him, then they're going to be putting in some work for your base, and you're going to be kind of breezing through production very, very quickly. So very excited. Thank you guys again so much. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys next time.